What's up, guys? I'm showing you how to get the brand new Bunny Bloom Caster Rod instead of Roblox FISH. So about 30 minutes ago, the brand new Easter Egg Hunt 2026 update just released in Roblox FISH with this brand new Easter Cove Island over here. There's new limited fish you can catch, and the main part of the update is the brand new Bunny Bloom Caster Rod, which you get by finding 25 eggs across the entire map. So if you go and talk to the Bloom Bunny at the Easter Cove, he's basically going to ask you to find 5 different eggs across the map in order to get a reward, but in total there are 25 total eggs, with the final reward being the Bunny Bloom Caster. But yeah, of course, let's just get right into it. I'll be showing you guys all 25 locations and what you need to do to get each egg. And yeah, it might take a while, but starting off at Moosewood, there's actually an egg below the docks. If you just go ahead and swim below here under the shipwright, you will see this egg right here, and you'll have to hold out your egg basket. And then there we go. We got the dock egg and 10 marshmallow chicks. I'll just go through each egg pretty quickly so the video doesn't last like an hour. The next one is going to be at Sunstone Island in this house over here behind Disco Dan. Go ahead and hold out your egg basket right here and you get the cone egg. Next, right here is the statue egg. And this is right behind the statue at the Statue of Sovereignty. If you make way to the back of the island. The next one is going to be at the Ancient Isle right next to the Angler. Next is going to be the reef egg right here at the Grand Reef, right next to where you place the Heart of Zeus. And for the 6th one, you want to equip your Scoria armor and head down into the Scoria mines. And you're going to find the crag egg right here on this rock within the Scoria mines. For the 7th egg, the thorned egg, this is going to be at Lost Jungle at one of the higher up areas over here. And now the next section of eggs are all going to be eggs that will only spawn within a certain hunt. So this one requires a Poseidon's Wrath event. And then you guys will see right over here, then the Wrath egg will spawn right next to the water in the Poseidon's Temple. And of course, for any of these areas that you guys have not unlocked yet, you can just search for a guide on how to complete whatever you need to complete, like Atlantis. The next one will be found within the Snow Burrow during the rain specifically. So you're going to have to do the 3 cracks within the Snowcap Island cave basically to get in here, of course. And then you'll get the snowy egg. The next one is going to be found all the way at the top of the Northern Expedition, specifically during the rain. This is the Icicle Storm egg. The next egg is going to be found at the Luminescent Cavern, specifically during a Colossal Dragon hunt. So this is the Luminescent egg right here. And I do believe it has to be either a Colossal Ethereal Dragon or a Colossal Blue Dragon, because of the Colossal Ancient Dragon being within the Crimson Cavern and not the Luminescent Cavern. The next one will be found randomly at Tidefall, can actually spawn above the Tidefall area, specifically during a Dripstone collapse hunt. So we can go over here and use the egg basket on the Dripstone egg. And there are also 3 more that will spawn only specifically during a hunt, but I will save those ones for last because they are the hardest. So we will for now go on to the next section of eggs, which are eggs that spawn randomly across an island. Like, it can have multiple spawn locations on an island. The next one is the Geyser egg at Roslet Bay, which can spawn randomly at any geyser. The location changes every 2 minutes, so basically you have a chance for it to be any of these geysers over here or any of the other geysers at Roslet Bay. But there we go, we got the geyser egg. The next one is the treasure egg, which can be found anywhere underwater and near the shoreline over here. So you just have to basically examine the shoreline until you find the egg. And then, yeah, here it is right here. Looks just like a treasure chest. But keep in mind that the treasure egg can be anywhere across the entire shore over here. Next up at Castaway Cliffs, you're going to find the shipwreck egg, which spawns at a random shipwreck. So you basically just have to examine all shipwrecks over here. And then, yeah, right here, this is the 4th shipwreck that I searched. And we just found the shipwreck egg right here. So there are 4 or 5 total shipwrecks that you can search at Castaway Cliffs. So it shouldn't be that hard to find. Next up is going to be the pine egg, which will be found randomly at the Boreal Pines. So the pine egg can spawn at any tree at Boreal Pines, so it might be pretty difficult to find this one. But yeah, you just have to look for a couple minutes basically. And there we go. After just about a few minutes of searching, we found the pine egg right here at this tree. And it is a green egg, so it might blend in with the grass. Gonna have to look very, very carefully. And I would recommend it to be actually daytime for this. It is nighttime for me right now. And yeah, the next one will be at the Crystal Cove. This one is going to spawn at a random one of the crystals. And yeah, there we go. Right here is the crystal egg, but something to keep in mind is that the location of the crystal egg also changes once every 1 minute. So you will have to keep searching for a bit, but I mean, the Crystal Cove is pretty small, so it won't be that difficult. And now for the next one, we're going to head to Mushgrove Swamp, and this is the lily egg right here. And essentially, it just spawns randomly at one of the lily pads, and it does also blend in a bit, so you'll have to look for it for a bit. And then we have the evil oak egg over here at the Everturn Forest. This is going to spawn at a randomized location on the Everturn Forest. Next one is going to be at the mine shaft. So of course we're going to have to go to Merlin and ask for a buff to enter the chasm. So you can just go ahead down here into the chasm, and then randomly at the mine shaft at any part of the track, the cart egg is going to spawn, and the location of the cart egg will move randomly to any point of the track every 2 minutes. And now we are down to our final 5 eggs, so hopefully you guys are following along so far. But yeah, the next one is going to be found at the Keeper's Altar. If we just go down from the Statue of Sovereignty, all you're going to have to do is enchant a rod once, and then the egg will spawn for 5 minutes. So just take any rod that you don't really care about the enchantment on. For me, I'll just go ahead and do the silly, fun, happy rod. And then you want to actually use the enchant relic at the altar. You don't want to use it within your inventory with the game pass or whatever. But yeah, then right here, you're going to find the enchanted egg, which basically just looks like an enchant relic. The next is going to be the ethereal egg. Basically, all you need to do is catch a crystallized sea dragon at the comm zone. Once you catch a crystallized sea dragon, then the egg will spawn right where you caught it. So of course, I just caught a crystallized sea dragon with my rod, and then I can go ahead and get the ethereal egg. And yes, we are now down to the last 3 eggs. You guys may remember earlier I said I was going to save the last 3 specific hunt eggs for last because of how difficult they are. So these are by far the most difficult eggs you're going to have to get. But yeah, so the next one is going to be the acidic egg, and this is going to be found within the brine pool, specifically during a brine storm. And so a brine storm can spawn during the rain, and you can spawn it naturally via disturbance. The brine infused rod also has a hunt focus for brine storms if you want to use that. But yeah, so for me, all I'm going to do is just fish in here during the rain with my Oniri Felix rod or something like that, because my Oniri Felix rod has the highest disturbance out of all my rods. And yeah, it may take 5 minutes for a brine storm to start, or it could take even 10 minutes. You don't really know how long it could take. And then yeah, finally, after about 10 minutes, a brine storm has started within the brine pool, and the brine egg will be right near this geyser over here. Or the acidic egg, actually. And so yeah, we now have 2 eggs left. The next one is actually going to be at the nectar den. If you make your way to the lost jungle over here, you're gonna have to make your way through the entire toxic cave area if you haven't already. This next one is the honey egg, which will spawn in the nectar den during a nectar bloom. And in order for a nectar bloom to start, we can again do this with disturbance. So if you do already have the sweet stinger rod, which is from the nectar den, then I would recommend to use this because it has a +10 hunt focus for the nectar bloom. And you can also go ahead and get ferocious on the sweet stinger rod as well to increase the disturbance by +4. But yeah, so of course, to enter the nectar den, you have to go over here to these flowers to get the pollinated buff. You're gonna want to get a decent amount of these because it might take like 10-15 minutes for the hunt to start. And when it does start, you do want to make sure that you're not running out of the pollinated buff and dying where you can't get the egg. So get basically all the buffs that you can. I just got about 24 minutes worth of the pollinated buff, and so now the bees will not sting me within the nectar den. And so yeah, there we go. Once again, after that was about 6 minutes or so, a nectar bloom hunt has started, and you can see that it started because of the queen bee serpent right here, and then all the way over here, then we have the honey egg. And so yeah, we are now on to the final and the hardest egg of all, which is going to be the cultist egg. So essentially, for the final egg, you're going to have to make your way all the way to Sanctum, which if you haven't already done this, if you haven't made your way to Sanctum and completed the entire cultist layer update, I do have a video on that, which I can leave as a card on the corner of the screen. And so essentially what you're going to have to do once you get to Sanctum is you are going to have to spawn the Leviathan, whether that be from disturbance, which takes a very long time, or from just giving the fish to each pedestal over here, which is the easier option. Then once a Leviathan does spawn, then the final egg, the cultist egg, is going to spawn. But this is the most difficult because of course, getting all of the fish that are required over here is pretty difficult. If you don't already know, you're going to need a Rainbow Cluster Cthulid, a Nova Cthulith, a Solar Blaze Cthulid, a Purified Cthulith, and then finally you're going to have to need an Aurora Cthulith right here. And then a Leviathan will spawn along with the last egg you will need right here, the cultist egg. And now finally, and it's taken me about an hour and a half to get all of the eggs. But yeah, you will now be able to go to the Bloom Bunny, and you're going to unlock all the rewards, the title, the bobber, the Bunny Bloom caster, and yeah, you guys will see you have every single one completed over here. You have 90% lure speed, 150% luck, -0.1 control, 30% resilience, and no special bar or special effects so far, but they will probably be added in the future. But yeah, that is basically it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully it won't take you guys as long as it took me to get this rod. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and also join my Discord server in the description to not miss out on any announcements or giveaways, because we announce all admin abuse, codes, leaks, and news for Fish. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.